This is Ryan.
This is Sean.
And this is Jordan.
And you're listening to the first ever HackMyStuff.com podcast. Thanks for joining us. I'm not sure how you found us, but I'm glad you did. Whether it was a Google search or a referral, anything like that. Thanks for tuning in, and hopefully you'll stay with us. This is we're going to be doing a whole lot of trial and error over the next little while, both with our website and with the podcast. But I'm glad you're here. Register to the website if you haven't already, and we'll see what's shaking bacon. So speaking of which, like I said, this is going to be a whole lot of trial and error. We haven't really established a format yet. It's probably going to be a whole lot of nonsensical talking right now with a more or less established format. We're going to start with talking about the website and what we all do and so on. The website itself it's been up and running for about a month now in its current version, devoted to basically modifying firmware, freeware. Got some forums set up for help for torrent files. We've got a video section for the latest and greatest video game trailers, pretty much anything that's out there. If there's something that you're into, whether it's a hack or a modification or gaming-wise, please chime in on the forums or send us some private messages. We'll definitely do what we can to get anything you need up and posted, and that way everybody else can get up there and see what it's all about. Speaking of which, I know this is kind of out of format here, but Sean, why don't you talk about your project, what you got on the go right now?
In about the same time that HackMyStuff.com went up, I started working on PrimalMinds.com. I do as well encourage everybody to check that out. Me and a couple other guys are working on a couple of game development projects. We have 2 on the go right now. One is headed by me. It is actually called Primal Minds. I haven't decided if that's a working title yet or if it's actually going to be the official title. Hopefully one day it will be the next best MMORPG out there. I don't actually expect that to come true, but whatever. But yeah, I've got, again, most of my stuff is done on the forums. I'm doing community development. There's lots of stuff to read. I use the word stuff a lot, and
You're using the Torque engine, correct?
Currently, I'm, actually the last couple of weeks I've been thinking I might not use the Torque engine. Although it gives a lot of options and a lot of opportunities, it has a number of downsides as well. Not very big downsides, but I mean, there's some things that if I'm thinking about doing this as an MMORPG, I need to consider. So I don't know. I'm looking around at some other engines that are available. I have not yet found one that gives me all the opportunities that Torque did, which is why I haven't completely abandoned it yet. But
and the overall, I don't know if you're comfortable talking about it, and it's, infant stages, but the overall idea of the game itself. I mean, you got some pretty inventive ideas.
Well, thank you.
No problem. It is kind of unlike any other MMORPG that is out there currently.
Yeah, basically, to get an idea of what's going on in this game, you kind of have to consider the ideas of an MMORPG, throw in anything you can think of from a game like Civilization, and then add in sort of an RTS twist to it as well. What I'm calling this is basically a living environment technology. Players can interact with almost every single part of the world, right down to the trees, the rocks, and the animals, and everything is finite. Unlike a traditional MMO, where if you wait long enough, everything respawns, whether it be a monster or a node for mining or whatever it is. Everything in my world is finite. Now, if that tree gets cut down...
Is this the Peter Molyneux pitch?
Yeah, I was about to say that too, actually.
I don't think I get that reference.
Lionhead Studios, Peter Molyneux,
yeah.
Fable 2.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll be able to do this with it, and this with that.
The greatest RPG of all time. Anything you can imagine, it happens except for walking off this exact path.
Yeah, exactly.
Not enough processing power for that.
You're talking about Fable 1. I remember, something like 200 hours of non-repeating content.
Oh
there takes you 6 hours to beat the game doing absolutely everything.
Yeah. Well, that or Black and White or you name everything. Peter Molyneux is I mean, although they make great games, Lionhead
Yeah.
Studios, they really do make good games. He's the king pitchman.
Yeah.
He's he erect the circus tent. Here comes Peter Molyneux.
Well, hopefully that won't be my problem. We'll see as far as the development schedule gets put out there. I am looking for a head coder right now. If you've, I don't even care right now if you live in the Manitoba, Brandon, or Canada area. As I said, I'm doing community development. If you've got a strong background in C or anything like it, give me a holler. Primalminds.com. I'm on the forums.
I know Logo. The
Oh
old
my god,
Commodore 60
I had to think for a few seconds to even remember what the heck you were
the
talking
Commodore
about.
64 language. Yeah.
I was playing on a Commodore 64 just a couple
Commodore
days ago.
64 making a comeback.
Yeah.
There was before our nasty SQL database crash that brought down the HackMyStuff.com website previously, and we had to repost the news. There was some articles about how Commodore is making a comeback. They're getting into high-end gaming PCs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. I thought Commodore was all but said and done. Canadian company too. Go Canucks! All right.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. Jordan, what about you? What do you do?
Not a whole lot, I guess.
Jordan's our product expert.
Yeah, pretty much.
Jordan, he if something is new or technical, Jordan usually knows the specs on it, and or he'll debate why his what's your new video card that you got at a really good price?
My X1950 Pro.
Yeah, your X1950 Pro, and what did you send me a text message about the other day? Your friend was wrong.
Yeah, he was. Hey, he tried to sell me on those 8600 GTSs, and according to Tom's Hardware, not so.
Is
Well,
that
what
the
if-
same
he said,
generation?
He said I'd get a 30%.
Are they same generation?
Is the X16
The
same
X1950
generation?
Pro is technically one generation behind, and it's
Oh,
not
okay.
DirectX 10.
I was going to say, I thought that was different
not-
generations.
What is it? It's not built in or whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
the performance difference is so much better on 1950. And if you have a DirectX 10 game and you go play with 8600, you're probably not going to get that great of a frame rate regardless.
Yeah.
So you're probably going to play it in DirectX 9 anyway.
Okay.
So I
Whatever. You were wrong.
always.
Jordan. That's Jordan's official title. Jordan is Whipping Boy.
Yeah.
Call him Research Monkey at some point, too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Jordan's back in the lab doing research. He gets 3 frame rates faster. Incidentally, one of the Sean, I don't even know if you know about this. Before you showed up tonight, Jordan and I were talking about a feature that we'd like to see on the podcast on a regular basis, and this is where everybody that's listening can chime in and have their 2 cents. We'd like to start basically a segment, whether we call it player versus player, whatever, call it whatever you want. If you register, chime into the forums. I'll create a section tonight, and basically, the equivalent of Xbox versus PS3.
No fanboys.
Hey, I welcome fanboys. I like putting fanboys in their place. But no, chime in and let us know. Sort of